Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another on the road vlog here on the Master of Hoppets. I'm at a really cool place and with some really cool dudes that you probably know if you're into your hoppy beer. This is Olle and Olof from OO and we're at OO Brewing, your new facility in Gothenburg. So first off I want to say happy birthday, congrats on 4 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. You had a great party last night at Kino,
Yep.
A lot of beers. That's why these guys are drinking coffee at the moment,
Yep.
but I had to try fresh and Randy straight from the tank. So you guys been operating for 4 years right now.
Yeah.
How about you tell us a little bit about your story? How did you guys get together to start up OO and brew beer?
We've known each other for many years. It's almost 20 years.
Almost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We played football for longer, but we've been close friends for around 20 years.
Yeah. And around like 6 years ago, we started talking about doing something with beer. Seven? Oh yeah. Time flies. No, just because we both like beers a lot, and we felt that something was happening with beers in general in Europe. So yeah, it kind of landed that we started doing contract brewing, and 4 years ago we started brewing at Stigbergets Brewery, which is
also here in Gothenburg.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Representing on the...
Yeah. No, but so yeah, 4 years ago we started brewing at Stigbergets, and I started working as a brewer at Stigbergets not that long after that actually. And we've been making beers at Stigbergets until this last August when we stopped and we opened our own brewery.
Yep.
Which is this place.
This place, yeah.
Must be a dream come true, right?
It is,
Actually
it
having
is,
your
yeah.
own facility and...
It's weird, we talk about it sometimes, like this is what we always talked about to do, but
now you're actually doing
we
it.
made
Yeah.
it. It's kind of weird feeling. It's it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We managed.
It is, but fun.
Yeah. You've been mainly known for brewing the hoppy beers, the New England type IPAs.
Exactly.
It's called New England IPA now, but so how did that come to be with you brewing all these like juicy beers? Before you maybe even started calling it juicy. I mean, I guess when you did the GBG Beer week at Stigbergets, that was one of the first really like European beers to start being put on, or at least in Scandinavia.
I was not. It's kind of just funny. I was going with an intuition that this is how I want to have the IPAs. I like them. I'm not a big fan of overly bitter beer. Bitterness is good to have in a beer because of balance, but making them way too bitter is just not my style. And I was playing around with different yeast and just finding that English yeast was making so much more to the aroma, which something I really like in IPAs that have a big punchy aroma. And it just came to be that was something that was happening. And like the New England style beers. And I don't know, it's just, we try to make them the way we wanted to have them.
Yeah.
And people like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's turned out very well so far for you with the whole IPAs.
Yeah.
So what was the first of these you made? Was that Naranji or?
Well,
like the first actual OO beer.
Yeah, the
which one was that?
50-50s were actually quite New England in a way. Yeah. That we didn't know it was called New England back then. Right? We made them with oats and wheat. We used English yeast. We used mainly fruity hops.
So 50-50 was actually the first. Baltic Porter and 50-50 were our first two beers.
Yeah.
But then was the Amarillo Simcoe combination.
But when we made Naranji, which we made like half a year before I made GBG Beer week, that was the first time we got a little bit known for making very like tropical hoppy beers, and that was a little bit of an epiphany that this is working.
Yeah.
And
which is it's exploding at the moment with everyone doing
it
this,
is.
Which is it's crazy. And if you talk to, and you talked a bit about this yesterday, you would never think that people would look to make beers hazy, which is the case now. Because if you look at beer tradition beforehand, everything needed to be crystal clear. Yeah. Which is really, really interesting.
Yeah. It had a big stigma to it, hazy beers. But it's, now people complain it's not hazy enough.
Yeah. And I see that, on Untapped, and they get a beer and it's like, it could be more hazy, which is a bit funny. So you talked about Baltic Porter, that as one of the first. Is that something to do with like the history of the porter tradition in Sweden? And
I
like
think so. Yeah,
it
is. It's for me, Baltic Porter is like this very mysterious style of porters. I love porters. That's what I got. That was got me into craft beer. That's what I was drinking like when I was 18. I was like, porter is
really nice.
My kind of style. And so, but just Baltic Porter has this mysterious kind of vibe to it because no one really knows exactly what a Baltic Porter is.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of interpretation. But for me, it's just making a porter that's stronger and not overly roasted, but has this like you ferment cold, either with lager yeast or ale yeast, but I use lager yeast. And by doing that, you have a very clean fermentation, and you get this really like let the malt shine, which is something I really like in the Baltic Porter
Yeah,
style.
it's really nice. It's the tendency in Denmark with the Baltic porters, because we also have a bit of a tradition. It's also with smoked malt actually.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
Is quite
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And I'm not a very big fan of smoked malt. but it's-
That's one of those things like either you like it or you hate it.
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly, yeah.
Well,
But it can be nice, but I'm a bit afraid of using it myself.
yeah. What about you, Olof? What is your kind of like epiphany type beer? Olle said it was the porters.
I'd say Pilsners.
Yeah.
I'd say that's my go-to beer. Pilsners, and also I like hoppy beers, but I like more sessionable hoppy beers.
Yeah.
I like porters as well,
Yeah.
but I'd say Pilsners is my go-to style.
It's very cool because you guys also make a couple of pilsners.
Yeah, we
now.
do.
And it's not something you see many craft breweries undertake. I mean, I've noticed that it's something that seems to be slowly growing in the States, making
Yeah.
craft pilsners.
I
But I think that's pretty cool because it's, for me at least, I think it's a very underrated style because of the bad reputation because of macro beer.
Exactly, yeah. And
Because it's hard to brew.
it's very hard to brew, and it's hard to sell as well, which is
A shame.
a shame.
It's a shame.
So it's a big it's a nice thing to do because it's a little bit of a
challenge.
challenge.
Yeah.
But it's we really like pilsners,
Yeah.
and for us it's just when I brew pilsners, there's so much more to think about, like in the brew house and fermentation, and I learn stuff by doing pilsners, which I can improve with the other beers I make as well.
Oh,
so it's,
yeah.
it's as a brewer, it's very nice to do this, like the whole range of just doing IPAs is not that challenging. And,
Yeah.
we get kind of bored.
Yeah. You need to change it up a while, and
Yeah.
once in a while, and do different like beer styles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, pilsners is like it's really one of those styles that let the ingredients shine a lot.
Yes.
So
And it's so, it's so a beer style that's also so hard to do because it's so open in terms of finding flaws because it's such a
exactly.
soft, delicate flavors.
Yep.
So
You have nothing to hide against.
no, that's
It's
the
like
thing.
really expose your brewing
Yeah.
skills.
So let's talk a bit about the brewing equipment you have here. Or sorry, you're finishing up on.
No,
this.
that's fine.
Okay. So the brewing equipment you got here. What did you decide on?
We went.
Canadian system
Yeah.
from DME. I mean, we looked around a lot, talked to many different manufacturers. We knew we wanted like a kind of like pretty manual system, with English-ish style, and we knew roughly what size we wanted as well. But then it was a long process, just like talk to different manufacturers.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew that we wanted to get a system from North America because they have a tradition of making. They have these companies. They made systems for like 20, 30 years, and you know it's reliable systems.
We
Yeah.
tested their system on so many customers in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's they make system for craft brewing,
Yeah.
which is
What you're setting out to do.
exactly.
Compared to if you go to Germany, for example, and stuff. A lot of the manufacturers there are also really good, but they're more focused on the pilsners and the lights.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the
And they're focused very much on just process flows and
Yeah.
stuff like that. This is just a workhorse. This is like I can make whatever I want on it, and
Yeah.
it's
That's awesome.
yeah, it is. It's like a pickup. And it's perfect for us.
Yeah.
So what's in terms of size? How many liters do you make, or hectoliters on the batch
It's
size?
it's a 20 barrel system. We order a 20 hectoliter system, but we got barrels instead because North America.
Yeah.
So it's roughly we boil somewhere between 2,500 liters and 3,000 liters.
Okay,
Yeah. So
around the 2,500
Yeah.
thousand mark, 2,700.
Yeah. Roughly package around 2,000 liters per batch, on average.
Yeah. Okay.
depending on much hops it.
Yeah, that's the thing when you make these hoppy beers. There's a good amount of loss because of
It
that.
is.
And I noticed your little fixed bottling line over here.
Yeah.
Is this one of these? This is also looks like it's one of these solutions for microbreweries.
It is. That's American.
Semi-automatic or what?
Yeah, it's automatic, I would say.
Okay.
The unloading and offloading is manual.
The line is very manual, but the filler is automatic.
It's a Mehin. I work with one that's D-Byte. It's cheap, it takes no space, and it's actually quite good if you know how to work it. But it's,
nice.
and we're testing the beers for oxygen, and we're getting good results.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's 40 to 60 parts per million, which I think it's nice.
That's very good. And since you're also bottling, I guess, live beer, you don't pasteurize or anything,
No,
right?
no, nothing.
That will also be taken up by the...
I actually don't use any findings at all in brew house.
Oh, which is also impressive with the Pilsner yesterday. It was fairly clear, actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit haze to it, but it's...
but maybe that could also be chill haze, you know.
Yeah. But it's... Pilsners, I used to let gravity do its work.
Yeah. And temperature, I guess, as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what's some of the future plans upcoming for you guys? I guess it's a slow process of getting everything up and running now and starting your own thing.
I don't know, we're still like very new to this.
Yeah.
Having a brewery, which means that we're still learning a lot just operating a brewery. It's just me and Olof.
Yeah, you know, it's just you two guys, which is really impressive.
We'll probably hire someone maybe later this year.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's just getting to know the equipment, becoming better at making beer at this equipment, and eventually we want to get more tanks and maybe get a faster bottling line or maybe a canning line.
Canning.
But
that's in the future.
Yeah. Of course, now you just got started as well, so...
We'll just try to make a business. That's the, it's half of the fun as well, just making a business.
Yeah.
So, we will do what beers we kind of feel for. And
I think that's also a very good philosophy in terms of what you make. You should make something you want to drink yourself. Not because if you make something maybe you don't like the style, then you don't give it your all when you make the recipe and whatnot. So.
I mean that's one of the more fun aspects of having your own place. Is now we actually have the
100%.
Yeah, now we have the 100% control and we can make exactly what we want. And we want to be a brewery with a broad portfolio that represents most styles of beer. And now we can do that.
Yeah, which is really nice.
We like beer. We like a lot of different kind of beers.
So mostly you focusing now, I guess, in the beginning here, at least mostly on clean beers. No sours and whatnot.
No sours yet, but I would love to make some.
Yeah.
That I have no experience, but we'll probably start playing around with it quite soon.
Yeah. That's also a whole different world.
It is. Right now we don't really have the time for it.
I imagine it must be a big situation.
But I'm thinking about it. I'm mentally brewing it.
Yeah. So anything new beer coming up soon in the future? Some new releases?
Yep.
We should keep an eye out for?
Yeah. We're making a new double IPA.
Ooh, nice.
It's going to be called Ikor.
Ikor?
Ikor, It's Greek. It's the blood of the Greek gods.
Okay.
It's cool. It's golden colored apparently.
Okay.
But it's so this one is going to be mosaic, single hop mosaic, and we are planning on doing when we can get really good hops. We're going to do like a single hop Ikor with that hop.
Okay.
So it's going to be
also
like
a series.
Yeah, like a series. But first it's going to be mosaic because we have really good mosaic, and we also we have a hop pack on our system that which is actually very nice because it makes us we can add a new layer of hops. So this is going to be 3 different kinds of hops. So it's going to be pellets in the whirlpool, whole cone in the hop pack. Then in the dry hopping, we're going to use the cryo hops.
Oh yeah, the hop powder thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like it's going to exploring how you can process-wise make hoppier beers.
That's really cool. Yeah. Because what I've heard, it turns out quite different compared to what we use. If you use the cryo hops, if you use
I think we did use a lot of cryo hops at Steelbite actually, and they were a pain in the ass to work with because it's just.
It turns into like sludge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now they are pelletized, so it's a little bit easier. But it's what I learned is that combine them with regular pellets, then you get like an extra boost to them.
Okay. Oh, sounds very nice. That's something to look forward to then. Yeah. Will it be out in Sweden or outside of Sweden? Or what you still have distribution outside of Sweden, right?
Yeah.
Denmark and whatnot.
Yeah. So we're planning on releasing it during like Bickel Beer Celebration.
Yeah, of course you guys are also coming there, which will be great. And first time coming with OO, right?
Yep.
Last time in Seaberry.
Yep. It's a dream coming through.
Yeah.
I mean, weird talking about this in the car.
It's like.
I remember first time being there, first Bickel Beer Celebration, and someone told me I want to be a brewer exhibiting our own beers at Bickel in a couple of years. I would not believe them.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I must say, you definitely deserve it because you're making some fantastic beers. I know I've really enjoyed what you make, and it's really fun now trying Naranji here as well, straight from the tank. So great stuff. But thanks very much for giving up some of your time and talking about what's going on here in OO. It will be very interesting to follow you guys in the future.
Thank you.
And all best of luck and everything. I think you guys will do well because you're some very talented people, I think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, guys. Make sure to check out OO. Of course, I think most of you guys know it. If you're in Gothenburg area, I guess you can get most of it fresh on Kick many places.
Yep.
Otherwise, stay tuned for bottles and the new release here. So cheers, guys, and see you in another On the Road video.